British black men love to wear tracksuits. Oh my God. Don't know who lied to you and told you that great tracksuits are so sexy that you have to wear them every single day. Hell no. Change your clothing. Dress a little bit nicer. Dress like you actually care what your image looks like. Dress like you actually want to be successful. Hello and welcome to Controversial Opinion Alert. This is the show where I will be telling you all the truth, unfiltered, and if it hurts you and you try to cancel me, I'm sorry that you are not ready to know what's needed to know. So, on to the next topic of conversation. This one here is probably something that most girls will hate me for, okay? And this is girls' gym fashion. Girls' gym wear, and the unfair temptation that you are causing for men. We, as ladies, cannot complain that men are looking when you look like you're basically naked. Do you know what I hate the most? The ones that wear the leggings that have that ruching in the backside, where it looks like literally you've got the biggest wedgie in the whole world and you can see literally every single shape, every single anything, everything. And you're not only that, you're also lying because those pants make you look like you have an ass that you do not possess, darling. And it is not a good look, okay? Very, very, very recently, we've been seeing videos of women that are recording themselves training in the gym and a man looks and eventually it's a massive problem. Why are you wearing those clothes? Even I would look. And in fact, I do look. I go to a gym that is primarily men, and a lot of the time I see bare nyash out there in my face squatting with the leggings so far up their booty hole that you literally can feel the air as they squat. It is not a good idea, ladies. You cannot be tempting men and then complaining that they are looking. You cannot be wearing clothes that make you look like you're basically naked with just a sheet, tiny, tiny little sheet of elastic satin protecting the skin. Other than that, you might as well just be naked, and it's not fair. So, ladies, if you're going to the gym, try to think about the purpose of you being there. Is it really for you to lose weight, to be healthier and look better? Or is it for you to compete with other girls and show off the body that you are trying to strive to have? Or maybe the body that you already have, but you want people to look, but then you're upset when they do look. Because if that was not the case, why would you be wearing leggings that basically tell everybody what your coochie hole look like? I'm sorry, cancel me if you want, but if you want to have a fight, make sure you leave me a comment so I can get back to you and be entertained for tonight. Also, if you want to cancel me, something that really works is a like and perhaps a subscription. Now, let's move on to another topic that for me just really scares me a lot. I'm not going to lie. BBLs. Oh my Lord. BBLs scare the hell out of me. So a lot of the things that girls don't think about, or that a lot of people don't think about once they see these bodies, is really the horror and the trauma that you're putting your body through. And with that, you also have to understand that we have pus, scarring, a lot of decay, a lot of things that just shouldn't be happening. So let's say your girl's got a BBL. Do you understand what that also means for their emotional traumas or their own insecurities dealing with body image? Do you really think that that is something healthy? No. Let me differentiate. There are people whose BBLs can be justified. However, there's some of you ladies that are doing a madness out here, okay? Some of these bodies don't look great. Some of these bodies look very scary. Watching videos of the recovery, watching videos of the operation itself is very scary. And now this is the opinion that I have. For a lot of you ladies, you're not understanding. If you really hate your body this much and you want to go and have this body transformation, you'll need to also understand how much more the world is going to change for you. If you're upset that maybe you're not getting attention before, if you're upset that your body was not so great, the moment that you've got your BBL, you've done something that is also irreversible for you, which is you've over-sexualized yourself. Let's not play around. Most of these BBLs are actually extremely exaggerated, which means that when a man looks at you, when the people look at you, when the public looks at you, when anyone looks at you, the first thing that they see is exaggerated hips, big-ass nyash, which most of the time is deformed and shaped in a square manner rather than round and peachy. And you're going to be upset that your attention now is going to be the attention that perhaps you do not want. Unfortunately, the respect levels when you see a woman with a BBL will go down a little bit because unfortunately for you, prejudice is out there. And somebody that has that type of body artificially is deemed to be a bit more sexual. So you're going to be looking more sexualized, unfortunately for you. So don't expect men to see a BBL and immediately think respect. No, they will see a BBL and immediately they will know, okay, so you've gone under a life-threatening procedure to create your body to be in a shape that you know is attractive to men, so exaggerated to a certain point. Clearly, 1 + 1 = 2 here, baby. It's very simple. You want to attract men. Why that is? Probably because there is an insecurity there. That means that you attach somewhat of your value and your sexuality to men desiring you, which means that for them it's a very easy maths. You've got a BBL, then you're more likely to give it up to them because, sexualized image. So I'm sorry if you don't like this. You can try and cancel me, but I'm just speaking the truth that is very true. I don't hate on you girls. I wish that you could have a conversation with yourselves that is more frank, much more healthy, so that you don't have to make decisions where you're going to hurt yourself, where you're going to put also yourself in a situation where you're more likely to be disrespected. And I'm so sorry that happens. It does not mean that you're less of a person. It does not mean you're not a good person, but it does mean that the world is going to look at you like you just want that ass spanked. Okay, so if you want to cancel me, please, I'm sorry that I hurt your feelings. Leave a nasty comment underneath and I'll be sure to reply because I need entertainment for tonight. Also, something that works really, really well with canceling is dropping a like and maybe subscribing. Okay, so this one here, I'm coming for the boys in the UK. And this one here will hurt. And I've got a feeling that I'm going to be cussed a lot. I've got a feeling that people are going to tell me that I am ugly. They're going to complain about my forehead. They're going to complain about my body. They're going to complain about everything to do with me. But I have to be truthful. Unfortunately for you guys, out of the diaspora of African men in the world spread all over this universe, unfortunately, Black British men are the most butters and the one with the least sauce. Now, don't cancel me. Don't be angry at me. I am just telling you the truth. And I will explain why I believe this. First of all, British black men love to wear tracksuits. Oh my God. Don't know who lied to you and told you that great tracksuits are so sexy that you have to wear them every single day. Hell no. Change your clothing. Dress a little bit nicer. Dress like you actually care what your image looks like. Dress like you actually want to be successful. Actually dress with a little bit class and elegant. Great tracksuits. Wearing tracksuits every single day, wearing nothing but Air Force Ones, isn't good. It is not good. I have to say, the French, ooh la la, the French know how to dress. That is why they are amongst the most dangerous African men spread all over the globe. As well as that, the Americans, they have a different source to them. They've got a little bit more suaviness. They've got much more swag, And then the African, the originals with the traditional clothing, they've got that culture living through their veins. Of course, that is really beautiful. Although their swag can be a little bit more funny sometimes, it still works. They still have the cultural riz. Now, also in terms of accents, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be that guy, guys, but the London accent on men is not the best as well, unfortunately. I don't mean to be cussing you. I don't mean to, be going for you, but I'm not British, so I don't have to stand up for you British men. I am Angolan, and Angolans are not much better. Their accent is a bit funny, but London British, I'm sorry. British black men. Can we please stop pronouncing the T's? Can we please be a little less vulgar and a little bit less harsh with it? Can we add a bit of sweetness? Can we add a little bit of elegance? Can we add a little bit of sophistication to how you speak to the girls? It is never a good idea to go up to a girl and say, "What you saying, though?" You don't even have to add the O. There is nothing worse than you going up to the girl and saying, "Oh, you're beautiful." That is not good. You have to think of something more smooth, something that the girls want to see. Maybe you should watch James Bond. He's got a lot of riz and he always got the superstar. Now, why do I think this is the case? I think that perhaps the British diaspora came at a social disadvantage. The British diaspora is very, 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 very new. Okay, I believe that black people became much more, prominent in the UK during the Windrush times, which is about only 50 years ago, which means that black British never really had the chance to settle into the country as much as the Americans have, and the French, les Français, they just have a little je ne sais quoi, which means it's very easy for them. Even if you see the Congolese, they're very flamboyant, full of style. The Senegalese, a lot of color, a lot of amazing things happening, which means that, yeah, of course they're going to have sauce. The Caribbean, they live in the sea, they drink coconut water and eat mangoes for breakfast. Of course they're going to have a little sweetness to the tongue. The Americans, they are pumped up with some crazy R&B sauce that makes them be super romantic and know how to speak to the girls. Now the British, they came to a cold country, to a country that is so stiff and uptight, but also gives you benefits. So you feel like you must dress like you're going to be staying at home forever because you do not need to have a job in the UK, which is also another problem. Okay, a lot of the men in the UK are very reliant on the benefit system, very reliant on having to say that they've got some sort of mental health, they have some sort of health problem that, makes them eligible for universal credit, for all these benefits that make you lazy, that make you be not only lazy, but also knowing that you have to count your pennies, which means that you're also not generous. There is nothing more icky than a lazy and selfish man. Generosity is very sexy, and generosity doesn't mean you have to pay for a girl's nails. Don't be stupid. Generosity simply means being able to give without breaking a sweat. Of course, you'll be breaking a sweat to even buy somebody a coffee because you cannot afford to do that because you know that your benefit is only going to give you about £280 a week, if that. And then that's why a lot of the time, a lot of men will end up doing things that they do not need to do when they should just have gone through the means and the processes that you need to go through to become somebody of substance. Again, the people that come from countries that don't provide them with this foundation, this support, they have to hustle. And that's why a lot of wealth is built. Because when you have nothing, are you going to stay at nothing and die? Or are you going to do and grow wealth? You're going to have to do. In the UK, you don't have to do because the benefit system helps you. You have literally nothing to worry about, no matter what. You will never end up being homeless unless it's because of drugs. Whereas in other countries, yes, you will be homeless if you're a lazy bastard. So men in London, you need to sort yourselves out, pick yourselves up, educate yourselves, qualify yourselves, and then build some wealth. That is the only way that you are going to get respect from the girl them. That is the only way girls will stop telling everybody that men from London are trash. Unfortunately, that is the general perception. Black men from London are trash. And I don't believe that. That is true. But you guys really ain't got the source that you need to be having at this point, okay? The internet is out there. Everybody's got Instagram. Everybody got TikTok. Everybody can see what men be doing out there. And the source of the Americans is destroying you. The je ne sais quoi de le français is destroying you. You need to do better. Another very controversial discussion that I must have. I've been thinking about this for a while. This one here will be controversial. I am not from this country and I'm very much used to people telling me, go back to your own country, pork and cheese. Oh yes, because I'm Portuguese, we were nicknamed pork and cheese, haha. But anyways, I am very used to knowing that this is not my country. No matter how long I've been here, yes, I was not born here, whatever, but because what I look like, anybody could tell that I am not from this country. Which means that when it then comes to understanding the riots where, Reform UK posse decided to step out and loot the streets, break cars, break this, set this on fire, do everything that they wanted to do under the sun, I can't really fault them. And the reason why I can't fault them is because they are fighting not because they are racist. This is what we need to kind of stop getting wrong. It is simply because they are fighting for their own cultural preservation. I know that there's many objections to what I've just said because people say, yeah, but they shouldn't have gone to our countries and steal our people, slavery, colonialism, blah, 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 blah. Unfortunately for you guys, that is not an excuse that will stick because that is not the responsibility of the general public. The general public is merely a victim of the powers that be. Now, for the general public, also the powers that be are representation of them. That is why they believe the powers that be. However, when the powers that be became browner and browner and browner and more foreign to them each time when they look on TV and they don't recognize themselves in leadership, of course they're going to bug out. Of course they're going to have any excuse to go crazy. Let us not forget that right now in the UK we're suffering from a few crises. We've got cost of living crisis. We've got the migrant crisis. We've had about 5 to 6 to 7, 8, 9, 10 different prime ministers in the last 5 to 6 years. There is a lot of turmoil. And actually, who is suffering the most at this point? It is not the black person. It is not the brown person. It is the general British public that is not even living in London. Let us not forget the UK is so much bigger than London. In London, people are still okay. If you step out of London and you look at the poverty that this country is experiencing, you will feel sorry for the little Billy that lives in Birmingham. You will feel sorry for Pete, who lives in Manchester. You will feel very, very sorry for Connor, who lives in Liverpool. Okay, because life in them ends is not easy. And this is what people are complaining about, because we are seeing more and more a call for diversity and inclusion, more and more of a call for representation of other races in leadership, in media, in everything. These times we don't even understand that the minorities actually represent a very small percentage, meaning that the majority of the British public right now is being ignored and neglected and suffering in poverty. Poverty is not the ownership of black. Suffering is not the ownership of the browns. This is something that the British public is suffering from, and leadership is not understanding this. Leadership continues to appease those who were marginalized before, but continues to marginalize the ones that have been marginalized forever. The general public, the working class of the British North, is not doing okay. Those areas of land do not have a lot of wealth. Those areas of land are probably some of the most poverty-stricken places that you can think of in this country. So when you actually do see the protesters, when you do see Reform UK, you will see a lot of these angry people who feel abandoned by their state, who feel abandoned by the government, and therefore will believe that the problem must be from those who are more favored. Like a child who is feeling upset because mommy and daddy are giving more attention to the outsider instead of looking at them and taking care of them. So, controversial opinion alert. Yes, you can tell me go back to your own country. Yes, you can tell me to shut up. But make sure that you say that in the comments so I can fight you later. I need entertainment. So, if you want to cancel me, make sure that you subscribe. Make sure that you leave a like, because I heard that that's how it works. Peace.